Anyone can be big in Japan.
Just as fame was evolving, so too was Big in Japan. A new generation of Japanophiles, from cosplayers, pop stars to anime enthusiasts, were taking celebrity into their own hands by building their fan bases online. Kelsey Panagoni was one of them. At just 19, she'd left Canada to pursue her lifelong dream of becoming a type of Japanese pop star known as an idol. For the sake of my own experiment, I wanted to find out what had inspired Kelsey to take such an unusual path towards fame. So I decided to visit her at the Rabbit Cafe, where she worked part-time. Hello, Kelsey.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, good. Are you a rabbit?
I'm a rabbit.
That's so cool. So this is where you work?
Yes.
Wow. So what's your favourite rabbit?
Choro.
Who?
Choro.
Chodo.
He's my very favorite.
Why do you like him?
He's got such a little fluffy face.
Oh, he seems pretty friendly. So this is like essentially your part-time job?
Yes.
Ah.
But I have two, so
Yeah, what's your other job?
over there.
Okay, and what happens there?
People take pictures.
One thing that really struck me was just how bizarre this whole situation seemed. A girl taking care of rabbits with this goal of becoming a famous J-pop idol in Japan.
They'll like smell you and they'll be like, good.
You've got to wonder how that kind of thing happens, you know? It's not moving to Hollywood to get famous, it's flying across the Pacific and integrating yourself in a foreign language and culture. When did you first have the idea of becoming an idol?
It started when the chef at the ramen shop said, you should go to Japan before you're 20 because in your teen years, it's very important if you want to be idol or if you want to be a singer or anything like that in Japan. It should start out in your teens, and the older you get, the less of a chance you have, I guess. But the idea of Japan, I guess, was always in my head, like, I don't know. I was probably in the womb like, Japan! I don't really know where it started or how it started or...
I've been really tired and stuff. And I have my show coming up and I have so many things to do and I've been busy.
But you became quite popular.
I have 4,000 followers, I guess.
That's not a little amount. That's a lot of people.
Compared to some, it's a lot. Compared to others, it's not. So I guess, I don't know.
Wow, that's so cool. It was these online credentials that led to Kelsey being recruited by a newly formed idol group called Hajirai Rescue. Though I'd heard of headline idol groups like AKB48, it occurred to me that I knew very little about what being an idol actually involved. Feels a little bit like a pajama party. So you guys must be Hajirai Rescue?
Yes. Yes.
That looks really hard.
It is really hard. Yeah. Because we just learned it, so...
It's something totally different than I would imagine. What would you describe it is that you're doing and what kind of group you are?
Idol is more like a model than anything else.
Right.
Because a lot of idols, well, smaller groups, they don't have to actually sing and they don't have to actually dance, but they're supposed to be cute.
What's your kind of character then?
Well, our group is actually called Hajirai Rescue, which Hajirai means shy, so I'm shy. But most of the songs are about like, I like you, but I'm shy. I guess we haven't really thought about it.
なんか晴れてる日みたいな穏やかな陽気みたいな
Like flowers, she says.
I like that. It's coming spring, so flowers are going to bloom.
春で花を。
おーやばい花好きな感じになる
Oh, you might. As Hajirai Rescue waited to take the stage, I was struck by how at ease Kelsey seemed in her new role already, having only been in Japan for 3 months. What had started as a dream on the internet had now materialised into a real-life idol scene, and I was curious about where this new path might lead. What do you want to achieve with Hajirai Rescue?
Like, I don't want to be a group that just never gets noticed, never goes anywhere. I want to be kind of like Britney Spears, or like, if you say that, everybody knows who she is.
You know.
これはハジライレスキュータオル。
この雑誌は何ですか？
雑誌は彼女たちが特集された雑誌です。サインが書いてあります。
I was with Sasa, one of Hajirai Rescue's most passionate supporters and a keen admirer of up-and-coming idol Kelsey Panagoni.
ミニフォトグラフ。
はい。
一番好きなチェキはこれです。
一番好きなメンバーは
ケルシー。
あなたにはケルシーが大切ですか？
はい、大切です。
どうして大切ですか？
その質問が難しいんだよな。
はい。
そうですね。私の生活の中で元気をくれる存在だと思ってます。はい。
ハジライレスキューです。どうぞ。
Since arriving in Japan 8 months ago, Kelsey and her group Hajirai Rescue were now on the cusp of mainstream status. It seems like you're at least getting more of those dedicated fans. How often do you see them?
Every life, every single time.
And then they come to your stall and they buy everything.
Yes. You know, just to see like that much dedication, it's like, oh my god, thank you.
But success in the highly lucrative idol industry often involves sacrifices that many in the West would consider unreasonable.
Idols, once they sign a contract with an agency, are essentially the property of the agency. And they don't have private lives, basically. And there was a case, a girl from AKB48, she had the unmitigated audacity to have a date with a boy. And she was ritually, publicly humiliated, shamed. And she shaved her head. And she put herself up on YouTube and made this confession. Here's a girl who's just going on a date with a guy. But the point is, these girls are supposed to portray this image of virginal purity, mainly to satisfy the sublimated sexual urges of the middle-aged men who are, in large part, the fans.
I wasn't sure if Kelsey was subject to such stringent conditions herself. But I was curious about how she was getting on, having immersed herself in an entirely different system of celebrity. To find out, we joined her downtown for a classic session of Japanese karaoke. What have you been up to lately?
Well, we just had our CD release in Tower Records.
Oh my gosh.
So that was really surprising. There were a lot of people there actually, so Because that day we actually had an event where if you buy 1 CD, then you get to shake our hand, and then if you buy 2, you get a free Polaroid picture. So
Some of the fans like that little bit of contact, right?
if you know AKB, they actually have events just for shaking hands, and you have to pay to get in those events.
Jeez.
Exactly. It is crazy.
How do you feel at that moment shaking the hand of someone that has bought that handshake, essentially?
It kind of feels surreal, I guess. Like, it's definitely weird, but it's not something I'm really uncomfortable with, I guess. Anywhere in the entertainment industry, you're kind of like, you're more of an object. Especially with Idol, though, it's all about image. It's like, you're paying to have contact with me. Like, I don't think, like, I don't know, I'm a pretty normal person. But I don't know, it takes getting used to, I guess.
But you're not allowed to have a boyfriend as an idol, are you?
No.
What do your parents think about what you're doing?
I don't know if my parents really understand fully, because it's like, I'm pretty sure in Australia it's the same thing. It's just like, what is idol? Like, what you can't have a boyfriend? What is, like, and I think the biggest thing is like, you can't have a boyfriend and you have to be in like a bikini. Isn't that so like sexist or something? I get that the most, I think, from like English bloggers will like send me questions, and it's a really different way of looking at it, so I have no idea what my parents think.
Kelsey had made astonishing progress towards her goal of becoming a Japanese pop icon. But giving up basic freedoms to play the role of an idol, to me seemed like an extreme price to pay for fame. I could see now that a serious pursuit of fame was not a harmless endeavour, but a major life decision with real-life consequences.
ハジライレスキューのリーダーケルです。カナダから来ました。これを蹴らないでくださいで覚えてください。I think everybody that like kind of does performances and stuff, I guess they kind of want to get bigger, you know, that's kind of the point. You want to show it to everybody.